What's your name, buddy? Are you here to buy some medicine? Where are your mom and dad?
Are you lost?
No, I'm not. My name's...
Hey there, Chi-Chi. Hi, Gui. What's going on?
Hi, Traveler and Paimon.
You've actually come at the perfect time. This little boy seems to have gotten himself lost.
No, listen to me. I'm not the one who's lost. It's my dad.
Your dad? How does a fully grown man manage to get lost in Liyue Harbor?
Well, my dad's always been kind of forgetful. In the past, he was just a little slow to react sometimes.
So, what about...
She went out a few days ago to gather some herbs for my dad, but she still hasn't come back. I remembered that the owner of Boo Boo Pharmacy always runs a clinic in Chingsa Village during the Lantern Rite. So I thought, why don't I take... When we got to the city gate, I took a moment to ask the Millith guards for directions to the pharmacy. And then, when I turned back, I asked the Millith guys to go find him, but he said they won't be able to send that many people.
You came to the right place. We're pros at finding people. Isn't that right?
Junction can help. She has a good sense of...
Hey, who's talking about me behind my back?
Chengsheng, Chi-Chi meant that as a compliment. There's no need to be upset. Hello, child. You mentioned that you were looking for the owner of Boo Boo Pharmacy. How might we be of service?
You have a talking snake? Oh, are you Uncle Bai Chju?
Uncle Bai Chju?
Chengsheng, now's not the time. My dear boy, could you tell me more about your father's condition, as much as you can recall?
Yes, Dr. Bai Chju.
I see. And your family lives near Chingsa Village, you say? I visit patients there frequently, but I don't recall ever...
Uh-huh. My mom doesn't like meeting other people, especially during Lantern Rite.
Is that so? Ayu, by any chance, is your mother's name Jiang?
Whoa, yeah, it is. Do you know my mom, Dr.?
I certainly do. Gui, Chi-Chi, are there any pressing matters in the pharmacy at the moment? Ayu's parents are old acquaintances of mine, so I would very much like to assist with the search.
Don't forget us two. We already told Ayu that we'd help.
Oh, really? Well, that's wonderful. We are most grateful for your support.
Chi-Chi and I need to clear up the shop front first, but once that's taken care of, we'll be right out to help you with the search.
Family is very important.
Thank you. Then I'll leave you to handle the pharmacy. Traveler, Paimon, why don't you come with me and Ayu? Let's start by talking to the mill...
We searched to the north, but couldn't find anyone who matched the description.
Well, that complicates things. The city folks...
Excuse me, sirs. Have you found out anything about my dad yet?
Hey there, buddy. Dr. Bai Chju.
The boy asked for our help, so we're here to join the search. Any new developments to update us on?
Oh, thank goodness. We were just discussing how we're running out of man... As for updates... I'm sorry to say.
The guards at the crossing up ahead said they hadn't seen anyone either, so we don't believe he was heading towards the Guili.
Luhua Pool? The terrain there can be tricky to navigate. Let's hope he hasn't run into any trouble.
You will? Oh, great. We can't thank you enough.
Sorry we weren't able to find your dad, buddy.
That's okay. Thank you for trying. Can you hear me?
Look, there's somebody over there! Oh no, it's... Hey, you! Stop! Don't go any further!
Watch where you're going!
Dear customer, Wangsheng Funeral Parlor does appreciate your patronage, but you needn't hasten the inevitable. Are you all right? Huh?
Dad!
Hey, Hutao!
My, who do we have here? My worst nightmare.
I see she still hasn't warmed to you.
Thank you, Director Who, for saving this man.
Dad, are you okay? Do you recognize me? It's...
Are you?
Your name is Jia Liang, and you live just west of Qingce Village. You were supposed to come to Liyue Harbor to...
Oh, my name is Jia Liang.
Uh-oh. He seems in really bad shape. We need to get him back to Boo Boo Pharmacy right away. Sorry, Hutao. Gotta dash. Dinner's on us next time.
Hold on a second. You're not seriously thinking of taking him to Boo Boo Pharmacy in this?
Huh? Why not? What's the...
Come on, Bai Chžu. Don't tell me you haven't noticed it. Didn't your master teach you how to spot the signs? Why do I get the sense that you spotted them right away? But you're...
Use what? What are you talking about?
There are traces of god remains in Jia Liang's system.
Yes, but more importantly, they're on the verge of an outburst. If that happens, the consequences will be unthinkable.
I'm sorry. What?
God remains?
There's no need to worry, Director Who. I have methods of keeping them at bay. It is the sworn duty of all who practice medicine to cure illnesses and save lives. Besides, it was my late master's dying wish to be able to save this patient in particular. Perhaps out of respect for...
Now you're bringing my great-uncle into this? Bai Chžu, just what are you planning this time?
Merely to cure this man, nothing more. But of course...
Oh, really? I thought I was persona non grata at Boo Boo Pharmacy. You're being unusually generous. Okay, deal. We're not gonna solve anything by keeping Jia Liang here. I'm happy to do it your way, but only for my great-uncle's sake and the travelers, of course.
You must be pleased you brought the traveler along. Otherwise...
Well, time is of the essence. Let's get ourselves back to Boo Boo Farm. Blockages within the cardiovascular system, reduced blood flow and energy circulation? I see. I suppose this must have caused the cognitive abnormalities.
Dr. Bai Chžu, how bad is it?
Don't you worry. Bai Chžu's a really great doctor.
Ayu, do you know when your father first started displaying these symptoms?
I'm not sure. He's been like this for as long as I can remember.
So it's been a long time indeed. No, I have a treatment plan in mind. We can start tonight. Come and see me again tomorrow morning. I promise that...
Thank you, Dr. Bai Chžu. Thank you.
If you still have any misgivings, Director Who, please feel free to hang around for as long as you wish.
However, it would be best if you step outside this room. A doctor...
Yes, of course, absolutely. I'll just go and look at the flowers or something. But I will be back in an instant at the first sign that something's amiss.
See you tomorrow, Bai Chžu and Chang Chang.
Bye for now, everyone.
Are you ready, Bai Chžu?
Ready as I'll ever be.
ends well, huh? You know, Paimon's kind of curious after hearing Bai Zhu mention those people from his past. What do you think they were like? Yeah, you must be curious too, right? Let's go see what we can find out while Bai...
While I'm idling time on admiring the scenery, the spectacled snake-bedecked docks doing so. Hello, you busy bees, and what do you have to discuss with the funeral director today? Actually, don't tell me. Let me guess.
Guilty as charged! Oh, and also, how come you and Bai Zhu could tell so quick?
Huh? I thought I told you once before. Wangsheng Funeral Parlor was first founded to fight back against the vengeful wrath of gods defeated in war. Well, it is a dusty old tale by this point. Long story short, in the ancient world, dead gods were acting up, so our ancestors started purifying the air. These days, we don't deal with the wrath of the gods anymore, but all the relevant know-how is still passed down to each generation. So
Okay, Paimon gets it now. What?
almost certainly from his master, who was also my great-uncle. Bai Zhu's master was my grandpa's younger brother, a former deputy director of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor.
Wow, fancy that! Huh.
According to my grandpa, he and my great-uncle once went traveling together when that pharmacist must have cast some sort of spell on my great-uncle. Because after that encounter, my grandpa had a huge argument with him. But he couldn't convince him to, so my grandpa inherited the funeral parlor, while my great-uncle stayed in Chenyu Vale to practice.
Funeral director to doctor is a pretty big career change.
If he had just become a regular doctor, there would have been no issue. After all, the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor wasn't unlike a regular doctor's. But according to my grandpa, the pharmacist they met had a very ominous aura about him. And on top of that, the kind of medicine practiced in the Chenyu Vale tradition.
In what way?
Don't know. My grandpa didn't know the specifics. And you've seen how wary Bai Zhu is, but even that says to me that he definitely had. One thing I do know about Bai Zhu is that he's obsessed with the idea of immortality. But whether that has anything to do with what he's hiding. Anyway, so I will be sticking around here for now to keep a close eye on this.
After all that, it seems like we have more questions than answers. Never mind. We'll just have to ask Bai Zhu himself about all of this tomorrow.
2 часа спустя.
It's a new day! Let's go back to Boo Boo Pharmacy.
Dad! Dad, you remember me!
Yes, I remember now.
Don't worry, Dad. I got the Adventurers Guild to help us look for her. And Dr. Baishu's gonna help too. Right now, all you need to do is concentrate on getting...
Great. That's wonderful. I can't thank you enough, Dr. Baizhu.
My pleasure, really. It's the least I can do to honor my late master's dying wish.
Not at all, Dr. Baizhu. It's only because Jiang Li...
You're still in the early stages of recovery, so you'll need to take it easy for a while. Take it slowly.
I suggest you stay at Boo Boo Pharmacy.
Director Hu, do you have any further reservations about Jial?
It seems like the evil presence is gone after all. You really did manage to but how did you accomplish this in a single...
That would be a trade secret, I'm afraid. If that gives you any cause for concern, you may continue to monitor Jialiang. Though I regret to say that Boo Boo Pharmacy cannot offer to reimburse Wangsheng Funeral Parlor for any revenue lost in the meantime.
Oh, come on, Bai Zhu. I'm not that unreasonable.
I've been stuck indoors for too long. Bai Zhu, take me out.
Yes, of course. Everyone, please excuse Changsheng.
Suffering now, are we? Did you seriously expect to cover it up just by putting on a brave face and ignoring it? But in any case, why must you keep this a secret from everybody? You should at least share your secret.
Who's there? Why did you follow us here? Oh, it's nothing. I just needed to get some air.
What did I just say about putting on a brave face? Traveler, Paimon, the truth is, Bai Zhu did not cure Jialiang's illness. Instead, he transferred some of his own life force to his patient to temporarily subdue the poison in his system. Bai Zhu, can you please explain all of this?
My predecessors in medicine forged a contract with Changsheng. Every successor to this contract is able to use Changsheng's secret art to treat patients. I believe the irregularities with Jialiang's heart meridian were likely caused by a poison concocted using god remains as a... The poison has not been purged from Jialiang's system. Rather,
Changsheng? You can do that? Huh. Hey! I'll have you know that I commanded the respect of even the Adepti back in Chenyu Vale. If anything, he is my mannequin. I was treating patients with Bai Zhu's master's master long before he ever set eyes on his first medical text. Whoa. Guess you shouldn't judge a snake by its skin.
Please, that's enough.
Wait a sec. Huto was saying that the branch of medicine you studied uses some pretty dubious methods. So, when you transfer your life force, does that mean you're actually damaging your own body?
Hardly. Changsheng helps to keep my chi in balance, so there is no great harm.
Still, Bai Zhu's life force is not unlimited. We must... Traveler, Paimon, would you lend this dummy a hand? He needs... Bai Zhu, don't you think you should seize this opportunity?
Thank you, Traveler and Paimon.
Huh. Paimon doesn't think we've seen this side of you. But there's no need to thank us. You've helped us out before.
The poison in Jialiang's system must have accumulated over a prolonged period. I think I should pay a visit to their family home. And yes, I asked Ayu this morning before you arrived. He told me that his family lives in a secluded spot to the west of... Let's head there together once I've asked Gui and Chi-Chi to look after the pharmacy. As well as investigating Jialiang's exposure to the poison, we should also keep an eye out for Ayu's missing mother. Nor have I. And I've hosted clinics at Qingsa Village many times in the past.
Oh, that reminds Paimon. We meant to ask earlier, but it slipped our minds in the rush.
She was indeed. We studied medicine together under the same master. She is several years older than I and also began her travels far earlier than me.
Supposedly, she met an herb gatherer sometime during her travel. Wait, Changsheng, are you saying...
Jiang Li did occasionally come back to Chenyu Vale to see our master. The last time she visited us, she and master had some sort of quarrel. We never...
Quarrel? What happened? I don't know. I did not witness the argument myself.
Nor did master ever explain it to me. All he would say is that...
Oh, so that's why you went to such extreme lengths to help...
No. Even if my master had never said anything, it would still be my duty...
Paimon never knew you were so selfless, Bai Chžu. Paimon, though...
So a few words from me is enough to dispel all your suspicions? You...
What the... Okay, that was the most suspicious-sounding thing you've ever said.
Let's leave the idle chatter there for now. Let's split up. But if anyone finds...
Traveler, Paimon, come quick! What is this?
Changsheng and I found a hidden compartment. This...
You sense it too? Is it... breathe?
No. Your eyes do not deceive you. Some toxins act a lot like living organisms. I read about this once in the Origins and Symptoms of Diseases. This ancient class of poisons consists of mother, and if it's a concoction of this kind we're dealing with, then both the poison in Jialiang's system...
Offshoots? So...
Correct. Whoever is administering the poison can manipulate the source to indirectly control the poison...
The call of the... Wait, so...
Only one thing could have been drawing him there. The source of the god...
This is getting crazier and crazier. Look... Hey, why has everyone gone quiet all of a sudden? Since this poison was carefully hidden away in his secret... You mean... Jialiang? Why would he poison himself? Think a little harder, Paimon. Someone else who lives here. And... Huh? So you're saying... It was Jiang Li? Wait, but... That doesn't make any sense.
I agree. It makes little sense. Jiang Li does not strike me as the kind of person who would do such a thing.
Look at the facts, though. How many people in the entirety...
It's too early to draw any conclusions. We should question Jialiang about it once he has made more progress in his recovery. Yes. According to the Origins and Symptoms of Diseases, so if we can find and destroy the source of these god remains, do you know anything about god remains in Qingsa Village?
Even the history books have no record of this. The only ones who'll know anything... Didn't you used to be on good terms with the Adepti, though? You sure they didn't tell you anything about this? Well,
Changsheng's memories and powers are not what they were in her prime. These days, she has to enter a contract with a mortal and share their life force just to sustain her own life. I feel...
Whoa, what? Enter a contract? Hey, plenty of people would jump at the chance to join forces with a powerful being like me. With my assistance in rebalancing your chi, not only can you extend your lifespan, but you will also be stronger and healthier? Baiju, maybe when you retire, you can let Paimon sign a contract.
Unfortunately, Changsheng's contract has strict requirements regarding the host's
Temperament? Hey! What are you trying to say? Ugh! Paimon's mad! You're getting ugly nicknames, both of you! Baiju, you're... This is exactly why your natural temperament makes you...
All right, everybody, calm down. Back to the matter at...
With how antisocial they are? If it were up to them, they'd go, what?
Seems you're as well connected as they say.
Oh, if you're talking about who Paimon thinks you're talking about, you better do the honors.
You called?
Gets Paimon every time. Aren't all Adepti in the habit of materializing out of things?
Well, this is unexpected.
Huh? It's you.
Baiju of Bubu Pharmacy. I do believe I've had the pleasure before. The Lantern Rite, when we met briefly, I was unaware of your true identity. I must...
Huh? You two already know each other?
Our paths have crossed once before. I sense the presence of evil spirits. Is this why you called me? So someone has been concocting too often. Fervent desires drive mortals to abandon all regard for their own safety. I now know what you seek. It is true that a god's remains are buried beneath the foundations of Qingce village. A vile monster known as the Chi once wrought havoc over this land, before it was subdued by Rex Lapis. The land was finally cleansed of poison when Rex Lapis used statues in his likeness to seal the serpent's remains. The seal is still mostly intact. If the Chi is the source, then it must be some of its blood leaking from deep underground. However, its aura is faint and barely detectable. I do not like to intervene against mortals unless absolutely necessary. But when demonic forces are involved, things can spiral out of control. If that happens, be sure to call my name. Nothing. I do not wish to sway decisions that are mortals to make, but immortality may not be the blessing that you imagine it to be.
I shall treasure your words of instruction, Master Adeptus.
Farewell.
What a strange Adeptus. Rather different from the way I remember them. That's Xiao for ya! And thanks to him, we finally got some
If the god remains are leaking from underground, Jiangli must be paying a visit to a subterranean...
Master!
Gui? Did you run all the way from Bubu Pharmacy?
What happened? Don't panic. Just...
It's Jiaoliang. He was fine one minute, and then he suddenly took a turn for the worse.
Already? How? Based on past experience,
It seems that my worst fears have been confirmed. Everyone, back to Bubu Pharmacy now!
Dad, what's wrong?
Don't be scared. Dr. Baiju.
How is he doing?
Dr. Baiju, you're back! My dad was doing fine earlier.
When Gui left, he was still conscious.
Gui, Please take Jialiang to the back room and prepare for treatment.
Yes, of course.
Don't worry, Ayu. I will cure your father.
Baishu's not gonna use Changsheng's secret art again, is he? Is there really no other way to save Jialiang?
3 часа спустя.
How are you feeling, Dad? Are you still hurting anywhere?
Much better, Ayu. I'm feeling... Wait, where's Dr. Baiju?
Master said he needed to take a quick rest and asked me to bring you out of the treatment room. He hasn't emerged yet, so he must still be resting.
Oh, really? Well, he must be tired from treating me for 2 nights in a row. I don't know how I can begin to repay him for saving my life. Speaking...
No, the Adventurers Guild hasn't gotten back to me yet.
I'll come with...
Don't forget what Master said. You're still not out of the woods yet, Jialiang.
I suppose you're right. I'll have to rely on you this time. Though, on the bright side, this means I can thank Dr. Baiju in person once he's finished resting.
Traveler, Baiju hasn't shown his face ever since he went in to treat Jialiang again. Do you think he... Huh? Hey, wait up!
Huh?
You're finally awake? That was far too risky. Even...
There was no time. I had no other choice. Jiang Li's design is quite brilliant. She makes numerous innovations.
So, how much longer do you think Baiju... They've been outside waiting for you the whole time while you were...
All
Surely he hasn't. There's no way... Who's talking behind our backs again? Ah! Baiju! Changsheng!
Of course. There's no need to be concerned.
Jialiang seemed fine yesterday. Why did he need more life-saving treatment again so soon?
I made an error in my initial diagnosis, and as a result, his life force depleted.
What? You mean, even if you got all the poison out of him?
Yes. But more pertinently, the poison in Jialiang's system is their precise... Jialiang has a rare congenital heart condition, and ongoing treatment is essential to maintaining healthy functioning of his... Though it was created from God remains, this formula is not a poison in Jialiang's case.
Had he not taken it all these years, he likely would have died a long time ago.
Still, using poison to treat a disease is hardly a viable long-term solution. Moreover, the longer he relied upon this medicine, the more resistant his body became to it. Jiang Li had to concoct...
That explains why Ayu said his dad has been getting worse, and why his mom went off...
God remains are extremely dangerous to be around, because humans have no natural defense against them. I fear that the situation is just as that Adeptus described.
I never suspected that even Jiang Li would turn to the same path as so many others over the years. To sacrifice one's own life to save others. To go beyond human means in order to do the impossible.
Well, I think that it's too early to say. In any case, I have stabilized Jialiang's condition for now. Her regular exposure to God remains over such a long period, and given that she's already been missing for several days, I am fearing...
It's me, Traveler, Dr. Baiju.
Ah! It's Jialiang! Don't tell...
Dr. Baiju, Please, let me come with you. You've already done so much for my family. I can no longer just sit here and watch while you put your... After all, if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't have had to put herself in harm's way in the first place. I'm sure I'll be able to remember. I know there's a spot where she says goodbye to me every time...
Be careful. If you get too agitated...
No! Before I forget everything again.
This trip will be extremely dangerous, and there is a very...
I never expected to live this long, and there's only one thing I fear now. And that's that I'll forget her again before we manage to find her.
Very well. Then follow me.
Dr. Bai Chžu, are you heading up?
Yes. This could be a long one. Please add an extra measure of mistgrass pollen and 1 dose each of the...
Doctor...
Hop to it now. And remember to be careful with the cauldron this time.
Okay.
It's just like the day I went missing. It's...
The Mother Lode's influence is growing stronger. But is it because we're getting... Jialiang, can you sense which direction the source...
I think it's... this way. Yes, I'm sure of it. I feel a dull ache in my heart. This must be the way. This place feels familiar. I think I've been here before.
There is an inauspicious...
I think I remember this place.
Jialiang, are you okay?
No, I have to keep...
This place gives Paimon the creep. The digging marks here appear amateur and rather old. A thieves' tunnel? Paimon had...
Judging by the tools they left behind... But why did they abandon this place without...
I remember now. She took... But she... she said that the method would cause me to...
Easy, Jialiang.
There is no escape. Look alive!
The doctor was seeing. Whoa, there's a sensor here. Those treasure hoarders sure made themselves at home.
I believe this sensor was used to burn a monster repel.
A monster repelling incense?
The incense was burned several days ago. If I had to guess, the monsters no doubt an encounter with the very same entity was after them. Jiang Li was the next person to discover this place, and what lies—
That's right. This sensor. This is where I told Jiang Li to give me—
Jiang!
I'm fine. Let's keep going. I can feel it. We're getting close. We're almost there. It's right up ahead. The place where we made a pact together to—
Aha! We can keep going now!
From the looks of it, the energy released by this mechanism can not only clear barriers, but also be conducted by corresponding mechanisms. Perhaps it's something we can make use of.
Doesn't see any barrier-breaking mechanisms around here. There are tracks here, and it looks like they're connected to something. Shall we follow it and see where it takes us?
A bitter pill to swallow. Seems like an emergency.
Inazuma shines eternal! Illusion shattered! Here comes the catch! Let's get it on! Buckle up!
The doctor was seen.
Now's our chance!
Jiangli!
There's a monster next to her!
The god remains must have lured them here. Watch my back. Taking a turn for the better. A bitter pill to swallow. Mind the side effects. Yeah. Yeah.
Dr. Bai Chžu, how serious is it? Is she...
I can still feel a pulse, but her condition is quite grave. The god remains here are encroaching on her cognition. If we don't eliminate it soon, then even if we save her life,
Then, what are we waiting for? Let's destroy the remains, right? It's not as simple as that. Don't you remember? The poison within Jialiang's body is inextricably linked to the god remains here. If the source is purged, the poison in his system will stop having any effect. And the poison within Jialiang's oh no. Are you saying...
Indeed. If the god remains here are purged, then your life will come.
I wondered when this day might come.
Wait! But we've all been working our butts off to save Bai Chžu. You're a great doctor. Surely you gotta know it.
You could continue to take the poison, which would buy you some time. As for Jiangli, maybe if we put our heads together...
It appears to me that she was striving to concoct your medicine for you. Right up until the
Dr. Bai Chžu, give it to me straight.
The god remains have reached her internal organs. Under ordinary circumstances, I would give her less than 3 days. But if I were to treat...
But what would be the point of that, Dr. Bai Chžu? I'm all too aware of the dangers of god remains. You are not the first. If I continue to sustain my own life using this wretched substance, not only would I know for a fact that I should have died over a decade ago, the fact that I've been around to see how you grow up is already a great blessing from Rex. If my choice can bring Jiangli back, then...
Jialiang.
After cheating death for so long, it seems I've grown somewhat addicted. Traveler, Dr. Bai Chžu.
Of course.
Thank you, everyone. And I'm sorry that I won't be...
Jialiang. Bai Chžu, Changsheng. Is there really nothing else you can do?
I am sure that over the years, Jiangli will have tried all the conventional methods known to humankind. As for...
Mortals are fated to grow old and pass on when their natural lifespan runs out. What a crazy situation. Jiangli risked it all to save Jialiang's life. And now, Jialiang has to sacrifice himself to save Jiangli.
I've seen many final farewells in my time, but I can never get used to it.
In the human realm, all things must come to an end. At least, that's what generations of masters before you...
The path they chose was indeed a heroic one. But when I think of those who would willingly sacrifice, I cannot help but think that theirs are the lives least deserved.
When all this began, we agreed that once Ayu was old enough to... If you could only see him now. So, I know that you'll both be okay. I've said my goodbyes. My time has come.
As you wish.
It will eat away at both your cognition and your memories. In the end, you'll become little more than a shadow of your true self.
I'll take it. At the very least, it will allow me to stay with you and watch out.
Mom, something's really wrong with Dad.
Don't fret, Ayu. I will gather some medicinal herbs right away. I promise you, nothing.
Why would these memories come to mind now? The longer we live... Oh, how I would love to hear...
Jialiang! 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 Jialiang!
Dad, are you awake?
Jiangli, didn't I... Huh? What are these?
How does it feel to come back to life?
Do you feel strange or different in any way? If so, could you describe it to me in detail?
Dr. Bai Chžu,
Die? You did indeed. As things stand now, you're more akin to a zombie.
I'm a zombie?
That's right. Before we set off, I asked Chi-Chi to prepare an elixir of immortality. With it, of course, this is but a crude imitation of an Adeptus art. I don't expect it to, whether it will keep you alive for a few days, a few months, or a few... But, however long you have left, I believe it should be more than sufficient time for you to say your final goodbyes before departing the world in...
An elixir of immortality? How'd you cook that up? Ugh. Leave it...
It's a work in progress that hardly lives up to its name, and it would have had no effect were it not for Jialiang. In the end, I am merely a doctor. I understand very little of the great prince. All I know is that if I'm presented with a life that deserves to be saved, and even this would have counted for nothing without Director Hu's assistance.
Oops. And I'm busted.
Without Director Hu nudging things in the right direction, we may not have found Jiangli in time.
No wonder he didn't mention the elixir back then. I thought he was being frank and transparent with me.
Director Hu told me to keep...
Never underestimate a serpent's sense of smell.
All I wanted was to help Jialiang find his missing wife as soon as possible, so that he could be on his way to the afterlife. Leave it to Boo Boo Pharmacy to snatch the perfect opportunity right out of my hands at the last hurdle. Never mind. One Chi-Chi was enough of a conundrum. The last thing I need's another one. If I'd known this was coming, I'd have
You stay away from my dad! When I grow up,
Oh, is that right? Well, you wouldn't be the first person who's... Traveler, Paimon. I'll catch you all another time.
Is she finally gone?
All's well that ends well. If you ask Paimon, we should probably do something to celebrate this hard-earned family reunion. At times like this...
It feels like it was a whole lifetime ago when I last talked with Jiangli and Ayu around the dinner table.
Yay! Paimon can't wait! Alright, first things first, off to...
Wait up! I'll come too!
Bai Chžu, thank you so much.
Don't mention it, Jiangli.
Just your duty, huh? Bai Chžu, Changshang, would you mind if... Time flies. It's been so long since we bade each other farewell in Shenyu Vale. Changshang, you're the same as ever. You haven't changed one bit.
You, on the other hand, have changed a lot.
You're right. My younger self would have never imagined that things would one day turn out this way. Or that you'd turn out this way, Bai Chžu. I've taken a look at your elixir of immortality. It's not...
I have to say, Jiangli, it was a stroke of genius to use poison to maintain...
No, not at all. With your intellect, but I'm still impressed by how quickly you managed to gain such a Not just that. You even managed to improve upon... Baizhu, be honest with me.
Huh. Told you the truth would surface sooner or later.
Life force isn't the only thing that Changsheng's contract lets you transfer between bodies, is it?
Nothing gets past you, Jiangli. You are correct. Besides life force, Changsheng's secret art also allows for the transfer of toxins and diseases. When I treated Jia Liang for the second time, I transferred some of the poison from his body into my own. Not only did... There is no need to worry about any long-term consequences to my health, however. Now...
But you took such a huge risk. If we hadn't destroyed the god's remains back... What am I saying? The reason I left our master and went into hiding all those years ago was that he was getting old. But in the end, how were my methods any different? I risked one life to save another. And then you are all disciples of Chenyu Vale, destined to turn out this way. To live a short life, haven't given away our own for the sake of...
We are doctors, Jiangli. We ought never...
Baizhu, I can tell that, over the years, you've used the contract with Changsheng to... Can you still stop before it's too late?
I think you know the answer, Jiangli. Every one of us from...
Hey, food's ready!
Mom, come and join us! The Traveler taught me a load of new recipes, and said even...
Yes, darling. Mom will be there in just a second. Baizhu, I know I won't be able to convince you. Chi-Chi, Gui, and all the friends...
There's no need to worry, Jiangli.
Baizhu, what did Jiangli mean by not around anymore? Every single mortal I've ever contracted with, including Baizhu and Jiangli's master, has Wait! That doesn't make any sense.
It is a very long story.
Long ago, when plagues ravaged the land, one doctor made a pledge to rid the world of pain and suffering. But even the most ingenious mortal medicine could not stay the tide of disease. And after working tirelessly for many years, even his dearest loved ones fell sick and bade their final farewell. Legends told of an herb lord in Chenyu Vale who could cure any illness known to mankind. The doctor sought the herb lord, but found only a white snake, its breathing weak and its power all but spent.
Sign this contract and let our lives be joined. Then I will impart to you the secret art of healing. But be warned, this art will harm your own health.
With means beyond human ken, the doctor could now reverse the process of death. And yet, the time still came to say goodbye. Only now, the one departing was the doctor, his life force spent. His final act in life was to pass on the contract to his final patient, his favorite disciple. The disciple chose to dedicate their life to saving the lives of others. And generation upon generation followed in these footsteps. Since I inherited this contract, I've always respected the path taken by my predecessors and followed it myself unquestioningly. That is until I tried to use the art to save my own disciple's beloved. She begged me not to use up my own life force, She said that this art is a poison chalice, an evil and unnatural practice. She did not wish to sacrifice one life for the sake of another, when both were lives she treasured. Only then did it occur to me. Did I not suffer when my master passed away, just as patients' families do at their loved one's deathbed? Are not the lives cut short by this contract just as worthy of saving as any patient's? What is this contract to us? Medicine or poison? Alas, I no longer have enough time left to find the answer. I entrust to your care both Changsheng and this final question. May you find a remedy for this conundrum, which has ailed us so.
Time and again, no matter how much I try to warn them or balance their chi, I can never save them. And you? What's your answer?
If I abandoned the contract and left you without a host, what would happen?
I suppose I'd spend my final moments taking a nice nap on Mount Yaojun. Then I'd be reunited with my old friends and your predecessors.
Then it's decided. If there's a life in front of me that deserves to be saved, why shouldn't I do everything within my power to save it?
Once again, it's the same answer. So be it. Close your eyes. Who knows how many more people will take on this contract?
None. This contract will end with me.
My contract has strict requirements on the host's natural temperament. All my hosts have been most...
But when one with an altruistic nature gains access to this art, they are more seduced than the average person, though they know better than anyone else the fate that awaits them. When they are like moths that throw themselves into the flame, seeking a glimmer...
So, Bai Chžu...
I suppose that would make me a moth that yearns for the light. Changsheng's art can transfer pain and suffering between people, but it cannot reduce the total amount of pain in the world. It's just like I have nothing but the utmost respect for my predecessors, who sacrificed their lives for their
Huh? But didn't you...
What makes a poison, poison? And what makes a disease? If disease is defined as deviation from normal functioning, then who knows? Many may view the notion of searching for immortality in poisons and illnesses as a flagrant violation of the natural order. I don't want those who come after me to lose their lives to this contract. Nor do I wish for Changsheng to perish from losing her hope. Precisely. I will be Changsheng's final host, and the tradition of passing...
Even the gods of old struggle to achieve true immortality. First, you want to save others.
But isn't wanting to have it all what makes... For a selfish moth like me, who's afraid of the flame yet yearns for the light, the only path for...
For what?
Dr. Bai Chžu, Traveler! What are you still chatting about? The food's about...
We also have coconut milk for Changsheng and Paimon.
Okay, fine. Let's go grab some food. Paimon has a bunch of burning questions, but they can wait till after we've eaten. I do envy Paimon sometimes.
True. And yet, are such things as these not precisely...
Совпадение? Не думаю.